Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone. My name is Lavon Jontani. I just realized in my last video, which was actually my first video, I forgot to introduce myself. So here we are, Lavon Jontani. And I wanted to give a little introduction about myself. I am 38 years old. I am a mother of four. I have three boys and one girl. My two oldest boys are ages 19 and 18. And then my daughter is 13 years old and my youngest son is 9 years old. I currently work two jobs. I work in the finance field, and that is actually my full-time job. And I also work a part-time job in the human services field, working with people with disabilities. And I actually, believe it or not, have to work tonight. I work overnight. I'm doing an overnight shift from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And right now it is currently 6:28. So I will be headed out in a couple of hours. And we are currently snowed in. Here in Connecticut, we had a storm overnight. So I decided to get some items together to do a quick video. No, the video was not going to be an hour long like the last one was. I just wanted to basically cram everything regarding the introductory to HS. I wanted to cram everything in one video because, again, I do not know how to edit yet, so I wanted to avoid doing part one, part two, and part three. So, I received a lot of positive feedback from the first video, and I am so appreciative of it. I've gained subscribers. I enjoyed interacting in the comment section, but a lot of messages that I did receive was regarding items that I use that helped me along my journey with the HS. So I gathered all of them up together, and I'll go through each one of them one by one, and I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible so that the video is not too long. So the first item is, oh, you can't see it. Ooh. The first item is dial soap. So, I wash with dial soap. You can't see it. I'm sorry. My apologies. My ring light broke and I am waiting on my son. One of my sons, he said that he will pay for it. So, a new ring light is one of them because my old ring light is broken. And I had that since 2014, I believe, when I originally attempted to start a YouTube. And for whatever reason, it got broken. But yeah, dial soap is number one. I wash with this. The reason I wash with this soap is because when you have HS, they say that you should always try to wash with antibacterial soap. For the most part, wherever I have HS, I always just wash those areas with dial soap. So dial soap is one of the items. Another item, excuse me because it looks kind of crazy and I actually lost the top. But this right here is a life changer for HS. It's called Boil Ease. And basically, I'm telling you, it's nights that I went to sleep crying. But Boil Ease saved me. Besides Boil Ease, I also use Prid. So they both pretty much do the same thing. I can't seem to pick which one I would prefer the best because they both work just as good. The Boil Ease, I feel that it numbs the area more than the Prid because when you have HS and you're in the middle of a flare, what happens is you have inflammation around the boils. And the inflammation sometimes is what hurts the worst. So definitely whatever you're using on top of it is a big help if it has something in the ingredients that can numb the area. That's going to help you get dressed because when you have HS, sometimes getting dressed hurts. I used to get the big bandages. It doesn't matter what brand as long as it sticks. These are the longer ones. These were more convenient for me so that when I placed them under my armpit, it will cover a large area. Because one thing about my HS under my armpit, mine used to come in clusters. So like I would have like one right here and maybe a little bit over, one right here, and then in the middle I'll have a track or something like that. So at times when I have more than one, this would be very, very useful because it can cover a huge area all at once. A Tide pen. Yes, a Tide pen. The reason why a Tide pen was helpful to me, and believe it or not, as well as this Clorox pen, I believe I got these from either Walmart or Target. They're usually around the checkout section. The reason why these are so very important and helpful when you suffer from HS is because a lot of times you can ruin your shirts. Sometimes you can be perfectly fine and you can flare up in less than an hour. And when I tell you, sometimes you'll just start draining out of nowhere and you just need to be able to clean your shirt if you didn't have an extra shirt. And sometimes I have an extra shirt, but I still would use it just so that it wouldn't stain the shirt that I'm wearing. The next item is actually a prescription, and it is called Axone. And in parentheses, it is Dapsone gel, 7.5%. It's for topical use only. This has helped me a few times. I'm trying to get it to focus. My apologies. Maybe it's the light. Maybe it's too much light. This I've used a few times. It still has a lot in it. I wasn't too fond of this, and the reason why is because it kind of burned. That's all I remember about this. I honestly can't even tell you if it ever worked or not because it gives like this burning sensation. No, you cannot put this on any open wounds, but it still burns even if the wound is not open. So I try to save stuff that I really don't like for when I don't have anything at all. The medical tape. These are mainly the medical tapes that I use. This one hurts very badly. So if I have a very large wound and I'm using gauze pads, then I'll use this. But for the most part, if I'm applying a gauze just so that it can hold it in place because I applied some type of medicine or ointment on, then I would use this one right here. This one, it doesn't hurt as much when you pull it off your skin. I believe I purchased this from CVS. I'm not sure if CVS is in your area, but in my area, the main drugstores are CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid. So for the most part, a lot of my stuff I get from either of those places, or I mainly go to like Walmart or Target. What is a Walgett? This right here is another prescription. It is called Clindamycin, Phosphate, and Benzo Peroxide gel, and it is 1% to 5%, I guess, and it's for topical use only as well. This right here, I mainly use in my panty liner area. I also use it on my armpits, and I also use it on my face. Does it work? I feel like it helps, but what I don't like about this is the consistency. This is something that they actually have to mix at the pharmacy. It's kind of like a cream or like a lotion, and you just rub it on and smooth it in. Sometimes it feels like it dries out the area. I'm not sure if that's the point, but it may be since it's peroxide. But what I do know is that when I do rub this on, when I feel like I have a boil coming up, this also helps a great deal. These I keep in my purse. I purchased these from CVS, but once again, you can probably get this from any local drugstore or any Walmart or Target. I like these, and I feel like they're very convenient because it comes out just like a regular wipe. And you have to walk around with alcohol wipes when you have HS. Reason for it is because, remember, you can drain at any time. The discharge or the pus or the drainage that's coming out, the abscesses, like I mentioned in my last video, they stink very bad. It stinks. So you're gonna need something to wipe after you're finished getting yourself all cleaned up. And so I always walk around with the alcohol wipes, and also peroxide and alcohol. Now, I know you're not supposed to do this, but this is what works for me. I had something on my nose. No, it wasn't no booger. So basically, whenever I have a flare in a very difficult area, i.e. between the butt cheeks, on my panty line, in my area, I would take some cotton balls, spray it with the peroxide or dab some alcohol on it and put them together, and I would place them on the area and put a bandage over it. Actually, one of my co-workers, she suggested that to me, and she doesn't even have HS, but she suggested that to me, and believe it or not, it actually helped. She said that it will probably help to dry it out, and in all actuality, it does work. So once again, I'm not a doctor. Be careful if you're gonna try any of this, the suggestions. I'm just giving you what works for me. You don't have to put a lot. Just grab about 5 or 6 cotton balls, squirt it with the peroxide, place it on there. I usually put it on there overnight, or sometimes depending on how I'm feeling. If it's a little bit more painful than normal, especially if it didn't come up yet and it's still under the skin, I would definitely prefer to use the alcohol because that does help me. Oops, I almost dropped it. Besides the Dial soap, this is another game changer, Hibiclens. I wash my area with this, and I also wash with my armpits and any other areas that I receive the lesions or the HS boils. This also helps with the smell because a lot of the times when you have flares coming up, you don't have to have an open wound. Just the inflammation or the flare alone, it makes the area smell a little funny. And this helps. And I was also told that some hospitals use this, actually, like the surgeons before they go in for surgery. So this helps to get rid of a lot of the germs. So I would suggest that you definitely get this. This is good to use even if you don't have a flare. So I always keep some of this on deck. So we are winding down. In my last video, I mentioned that my sister told me about some bandages that were actually made for brown people. So I just wanted to give you some examples of the different shades. They actually came in, I believe, like 2 or 3 more different shades, but I believe either I can't locate them for whatever reason, or I may have used all of them because I really don't care if it doesn't match my complexion. I was using them. Next up is Manuka Honey. Manuka Honey is another game changer. Manuka, well, it actually has to be raw Manuka Honey. Manuka Honey can be a bit pricey and expensive depending on where you are. Actually, I don't believe it matters. It's always expensive, but it's well worth it. It's raw and unpasteurized, non-GMO, project verified, produced and packaged in New Zealand, free of antibiotics and glyphosate, traceable from hive to home, unpasteurized honey. And also, this helps with the smell as well. So even if you don't have any open wounds, if you have open wounds, this will help with the smell. If you don't have any open wounds, but you know you're starting to smell a little funny due to the inflammation, because when you're inflamed in certain areas, like for example the armpit, sometimes when I'm flared up, even if it's not an open wound, I'll slap some of the Manuka Honey on and slap like a bandage on, and in no time that funny smelly smell that I was smelling is gone. So this helps out a great deal as well. This also helps to heal any open wounds. It'll help to heal it a lot quicker. So definitely get you some Manuka Honey. And then this right here is betamethasone diapropionate ointment, USP. Yeah. This is also prescribed. Yeah, sorry, you can't see this either. Anyways, this is also prescribed. This right here, when I have lesions, I am to use this on the lesions twice a day. This ointment right here is not only to help when you have lesions, but when you also feel them coming up. If you apply this twice a day, hopefully they won't never come all the way through, because this will go into action. And finally, I have the mupirocin ointment. This is the ointment that I've been using recently for my surgery scars under my armpits. This ointment was prescribed to me right after the surgery. I was told to basically take the ointment and apply it as if I'm frosting a cake. This helps it to heal quicker as well, and it also, it's an antibiotic. It also helps to keep infection away. So definitely any of these prescription ones that I'm mentioning, if you think this would be helpful for you, or if you live in an area where it's not much knowledge on HS, you can definitely inquire about these. Once again, this is called Axone Dapsone Gel, 7.5%. Sorry about that. You can't really see it, but that's how it looks. Once again, this is Clindamycin, Phosphate, and benzoyl peroxide gel. It's basically peroxide, I believe, in like a cream form. And then this is the betamethasone diapropionate. And this is what I used for the surgery scars. This is the mupirocin. Yeah. And also the name of my surgeon. His name, oh gosh, can't see this either. His name is Mr. Brown. It's Wilfred Brown, MD. And he is a plastic surgeon. That is his title. And he is located in Middlebury/Waterbury, Connecticut. And I do believe he also has a site in New York. What part of New York? I'm not sure. But if you Google it, you may be able to locate him. Okay, so let's see if it's anything I am missing. So the only thing that I did not include in the video that helps me with the HS, and that's because I don't have it handy for the video, is basically a heating pad and the Sitz tub. The Sitz tub I got from a pharmacy. That's the one that I explained to you guys in the last video, where you basically put it over the toilet seat and you fill it with like Epsom salt and warm water. And if you're flared up in your bottom areas, you can always sit down. And it also, you can sit down and soak. And it also helped me a great deal with my Pilonidal Cysts. That was something I experienced as well on my tailbone. In the last video, I had lost my train of thought and I couldn't remember the scientific term, but that term is a pilonidal cyst. I had one that needed to be surgically removed from my tailbone. I could not stand. I could not walk. I was not comfortable. So they had to surgically remove it. I have not had one since, but that area does get a little irritated at times and it gets a little itchy, and at times it feels like it's going to flare back up. But I just start washing with the Hibiclens, and I start placing the Manuka Honey with cotton balls, and I let that sit there for a while. And sometimes I use some of the ointments. I don't necessarily use the Prid or the Boil Ease for the pilonidal cyst, because for the most part in my situation it's usually under the skin, and it's not something that's gonna actually be able to be brought to a head outside of the skin. So yeah, I don't use that for the pilonidal cyst. So basically that's the only thing that's missing in the video. Also, I was trying to get some suggestions on different ideals for the channel. I already told you guys what I'm basically going to be doing. Once I get this editing thing down pat, I'm going to be vlogging. I may do a look of the day because I like to dress up. I like to cut or coordinate. So I'm going to do a look of the day when I do uploads. I am subscribed to a monthly subscription box called the Brown Sugar Box, and usually it ships out the 15th of every month, and I look forward to it every month because I know that I'm going to get and guaranteed to get at least 5 things that's made that I'm going to absolutely love. So I was thinking about maybe incorporating that as like a unboxing. So if you guys have any other ideals, comments, or suggestions, please drop them down below. I will be sure to respond. And also, once I get all of my social media handles up and going, I will also be uploading to them as well. That's it for today. It is going on 24 minutes. And once again, I want to try to keep this short so I can practice editing, see how this video turned out. And don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Bye. Okay, you guys, I had to jump back in just to let you know viewers' discretion is advised. I am going to add some HS photos from my journey. So if you have a sensitive stomach, I'm just giving you enough time to click off right now. Thank you. Hey, I know what you guys are thinking. Yes, it did come out of my arm.